I must confess that while I recognise that swearing an oath of allegiance to His Majesty would be part of the service, part of the process of becoming a citizen in this country if you choose to do so, and so it's not an entirely impossible thought, it's not something entirely new, the idea of standing up and swearing allegiance to my television set strikes me as absurd and faintly ridiculous. This is not a realistic thing to do, and I cannot imagine very many people are going to be tempted to do so. The idea that the congregation will swear allegiance on our behalf, I think, is perfectly reasonable. The idea that I'm going to stand up in my sitting room and do the same thing is frankly impossible. And I can't imagine very many other people are going to do the same either. It's not a matter of being a monarchist or being a Republican. It's a matter of feeling a fool talking to the television. I have only ever screamed at the television once or twice, and I don't intend to make a habit of it. And I think the idea of pledging my allegiance to the BBC, particularly given Mr. Sharp's tenure, is incomprehensible. It's simply not going to happen. I'd love to know what your thoughts on this are, but this is not to suggest the idea of the novelty of a public oath of allegiance to the king is out of order. I don't think it is out of order. I also don't think it's out of order to emphasise the fact that the king begins the ceremony by establishing his promise to govern in our name and or to rule in our name. That he effectively himself takes an oath of office. But so there's a certain reciprocity in the ceremony, but I think doing it through the television is not appropriate. This turns it into some sort of cheap X factor, some sort of it turns it into some silly reality TV thing. And that is not what it is. Sorry.